Well, I've been wanting an Allegheny locomotive for a long time. Here's one sitting up in the Henry Ford Museum up in Michigan. So I broke down and got one for Christmas. Came in a really huge box. This picture doesn't really do the size justly. However, when I opened up the box, there was a box in a box. How fun. Now, it was fragile, so I took my time. Number 9 out of 200. I feel so special. Getting warmer. A box in a box in a box. Box is big enough it could have been like a G-scale car. I will stand the train box up on end so we can see how wide it was. I did think long and hard about getting this because it's made by Rivarossi, and I have only one Rivarossi and I had nothing but issues with it. But if the locomotive is half as nice as the packaging, I'm in good shape. I learned from Tyler that the black box Rivarossis are good runners. I guess we'll see. Well, with all the packaging almost out of the way, I did get an extra cab shell for some strange reason. Anyway, let's unwrap this thing and take it for a spin. Got this Allegheny loco for Christmas, mostly because my grandfather worked for the B&O C&O. Plus, I've seen the 1601 in the Ford Museum, so that was pretty cool. Anyway, when the train runs by the second time, we're going to speed it up. And no, I'm not going to speed it up right now. I've actually had this red tender since I was a teenager. Pittsburgh and West Virginia, the alphabet route. What? Although my layout looks like I have a triple track, it's actually one long track. You'll notice the next two run-bys, the train switches tracks each time. Well, when I worked 18 years at Westinghouse Electric in East Pittsburgh, we had all kinds of orders for nuclear-powered generators. So a 500-ton crane would lift one on this car, and it would go to one of the various power companies. Guess you could say when it goes on a curve, it hogs up a lot of space. Feel like taking it to the waste station, going around the corner and watching it take all three tracks at the same time. If you ever see one rolling down the tracks, in addition to a full-size locomotive, not this little Union Railroad switcher. Anyway, in addition to the big car, it would have at least one box car full of tools and then a caboose full of workers. Sure you noticed by now, but the big generator actually bolts onto the Schnabel car. The car gets cut in half. Generator gets bolted onto each side, so the generator is the middle of the car. Sure looks like a tight squeeze going back into the building. As a matter of fact, it was more than a tight squeeze. I ended up pulling out the old X-Acto knife, taking several inches off the top of the door as well as a little bit off the side of the door. Just makes it nicely done. Well, the video's almost over. However, as you might guess, it wasn't like the easiest video, even though it sure looks this way. We've had our ups and downs and a little bit of, shall we say, outtakes. So let's see what's happening here. Well, everything went smoothly as it exited the building. However, when I tried to come back in with 36 wheels, actually 36 axles, I realized the switch was thrown improperly, so let's try again. And as you can see, we got plenty of room, gap for normal cars, and this car was parked here on my very first video. The video you saw was actually like take 3 or 4. Anyway, so plenty of gap, right? Well, not when you got a Schnabel car in tow. Watch this. Loco clears, no problemo. Other car clears, no problemo. First part of the car clear. Whoa, big problemo. Let's get Skycam, take a look here, see what's going on. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's going to leave a mark. Somebody's got a lot of explaining to do. Yeah, I guess it was me.